I think that's going to continue. It's really climbing up top, especially when Malfurion is banned here. And game 3, we have Dragon Shadow, of course, released. They just want to continue those globals, I think. I think Ace has to go back to their Haka pick. I think that's exactly what they need. Marthael did not do a single thing. And along with, even with Falstad in game 1, I think Witcher's having a big trouble in tonight's game.
Yeah, and Witcher's always been a strong player. It reminds me of Magi in his old days on Team Hero, where he played a lot of the solo lane, a lot of the kind of split pushing solo lane type hero. But yeah, he's had trouble today on the Falstad, on the Malthael, and a lot of that comes to Frankel, obviously, but a lot of that also came from the ETC split soaking, the better understanding of rotations on the map. A little bit tougher to really control things on this map compared to Cursed Hollow, because that's a more timing-based fight where you know you're going to fight at a specific time. You can use the Stukov better. We're going back to the Malfurion ban here for Ace.
When they banned Malfurion, they took Hanzo. And maybe this time around, they're willing to change, either grab ETC Blaze. Either grabbing Blaze or even that the Haka won't be so bad. But first pick the Haka isn't really worth it. I think Blaze should be on top. Also, you get to counter all the pulse bombs with the bunker. So Blaze first pick makes the perfect sense against Feliz right now.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good pick. The only problem with picking Blaze on this map, in terms of mid to late game, is you don't get as much of bunker value unless you're fighting over the night camps. Whereas on other maps you get control of bosses or major objectives. Whereas on this map there's like 3 objectives at all times that you're fighting over, so tough to really get as much value out of the bunker, but he's going to be really strong in the early game. But you can't get ETC and Blaze if you pick him here. However, if you don't pick either, these can take both.
Yes.
So I think they need to split them up again, just like game 1. Blaze, I think, would be the perfect pick here. Safest possible.
Or if you're not ready, just take ETC instead. Okay, they're going with that perfect... Perfect pick for the first pick, and Blaze is going to be their first. Not the first one, but as their first pick, it is going to be their first one here.
Yeah. So, the first one of theirs for this series, Blaze going to Feliz both games, so they're not going to have that tool this time. They can, however, draft into the Hanzo to help control camps early on, and obviously it's very powerful on this map in the mid to late game because you can control fights with the Dragon's Arrow. Very powerful in terms of controlling shrines because he stuns that area and he can do it from such a large range that he can be harassing someone mid or clearing a camp, then come into the fight later using the stun as an initiation. So it's going to be Hanzo ETC. This is pretty standard stuff here. Now, let's talk about supports for a second. Remember, Rhaegar, the highest contested support between these two teams. This is not a great map for Stukov. Can sure help you win a shrine fight or help you win lane, but Stukov can't rotate between lanes as quickly as Rhaegar can. And you're not going to be fighting over an area like a tribute or an altar that you're channeling. This is not a map where Stukov, where you have this team fight where you're forced in the same area for a long period of time. They're going to pick him anyways.
So okay, KCB's really moving away from Rhaegar. That's, I think, a plus.
So,
and it's going to be a big counter to when there's a power slide in, the silence can continue. Also, Greymane has the camp potential, so they're going to be pretty quick on the camp clears.
I think they should ban Rhaegar now then, as well. Uther pairs well with ETC, but not with Hanzo. And for Feliz, I want to look at this number again. Uther 1-6 currently for Liu, whereas he is 3-6 on the Rhaegar. I think the Rhaegar ban is correct if you've done your research. If you want to play top tier, like if you want to play, you know, remove the team names and just draft, you ban the Uther, sure, but I think they should have banned Rhaegar here.
I do agree with Rhaegar's camp timing also. Of course, they already have Hanzo, but it makes it so much better.
Yeah, you can do 2 siege camps at once if you have
the same time. And Rhaegar can provide the faster rotation. Along with ETC, you can have that as a gank combo, gank duo for your team, which makes a great sense against the Stukov with the silence. I think Rhaegar pick is basically given, not even contested, so we can have that hidden for the 5th pick, or if you have something else, I think they just pick up Rhaegar along with Tracer once again, even with the
Zeratul.
Okay, there's the sniper there's the assassin duo again from Feliz.
Very effective, especially in the early game with ETC. If Ace was thinking about running a Falstad, they're going to, I think, probably throw that idea away now.
Now I think KCB is regretting his pick already.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be tough, and they're going to have to roam together as a group very often. I suggested the Tyrael in Game 2 is a great pick against this type of play, and in Game 2 they went with the Muradin instead. Was a complete failure. Obviously, Muradin with similar mobility to Tyrael, but this doesn't have that damage mitigation to deal with the Tracer Pulse Bomb, Zeratul's Burst as well. I think they should take it this time. A Nubarak, okay.
To at least remove some threat. And
Valeera! What?
To provide silence? Okay, stealth against stealth. That's what they're thinking here. At least we don't have a Nova here, but Valeera!
So, Valeera can offer you a lot of lockdown on Tracer and Zeratul. If Valeera is nearby, there was no question this was going to be a Rhaegar last pick. But if Valeera is nearby and Zeratul and Tracer dive in, they can find themselves silenced, stunned. You know, there's a lot of things that Valeera could do. She's considered on Reddit, you know, the quote-unquote anti-mobility hero, okay? So in a way, sure, she can do these things, but she's not very... In terms of her numbers, she's not very strong in pro play. And as a roaming hero, she's going to cost them a lot because she can't really camp. Even though they have Greymane, sure. She's going to have to get a lot of value in these fights. She's going to have to be used, I think, mostly defensively. And who are you really killing when you're not fighting defensively with Valeera? I don't think you're killing anybody.
Zeratul. Stealth. That's what you're going for. I think that's literally the idea. I'm not kidding here. I think they're trying to at least make it harder for them to roam, because it'll be easier if you actually see everyone. Of course, it's easier to spot stealth heroes nowadays, but if you stay in that same spot, you go back to the old stealth.
Yeah. I think that's the idea. The reason why Valeera, of course, has such weak numbers, and we talk about her stats being low, is because she's obviously a very stompy hero to play in quick match, and so as a result, Blizzard tweaked her numbers so that she wouldn't actually just wreck noobs, basically, and make people sad all the time. Well, that means she kind of has no place in pro play. So notice where Rush is going to come in here. He gets the big damage, the burst, actually. Liu, very low. I think he's going to go down here. Yep, there's the kill. So double here, coming in for Greymane. And there's another stun. It's a follow-up stun. Okay, all right. Valeera stuns. A Nubarak, silence coming in from Stukov. Burst damage, Blaze follow-up stun. Okay, this early game looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, they won that mage big time, but when we talk about stealth versus stealth, to think about it, the Zeratul can unstealth Valeera, but Valeera cannot do the same thing. She just cannot hit Zeratul when he's in the stealth mode anyhow.
It's going to require, you know, Stukov or Blaze to do that in most cases. If you look at the solo lane matchup, it's obviously already won by Blaze as well. And camp timing for Greymane pretty quick. We were talking about that earlier. It's a pretty strong early game for Ace. We knew this was going to be the case with a comp that has these heroes. Imagine if they had ETC instead of Nubarak. It's like, whoa. But what happens in real team fights is, as long as Feliz doesn't, this game gets snowballed out of control, is not going to look like this.
I think it's also okay. They have silence, plus another silence available from Valeera too.
Yeah.
So Tracer will be... If the silences are perfectly chained, Tracer cannot blink away. I think she will be dying in that mean of the time.
Yeah, Tracer basically needs to make sure that she tracks where Valeera is at all times. Like, for example, right now, if they didn't know Rush was here, if Tracer was just in mid right now, it'd be the scariest, most dangerous thing ever. They know that, of course, so Tracer can smoke mid. And what happens when you have this aggressive rotation, if you stay too long, you miss experience. Gamey misses 2 minions here of the 7. Not too significant, but this will add up throughout the game if you keep rotating like this.
It is the Q build poking Zeratul, because once he goes in, it's going to be... There's so much CC from Ace. It's going to be pretty dangerous for himself.
Great counter here. Rush is going to get out. KCB having that heal preemptively again. But that was a great counter power slide. The Unleash is available, but I don't think Tracer's going to be able to make this happen. It's going to harass mid a little bit. This was a bit overzealous by OJ. Does finally get out of that silence to get the power slide. A close call. It's a very weird game we were watching here. This is more what I expected from this series, G-Clef, to be honest. We've had 7th versus 8th place matches like this since OGN's Super League, man. Matches like First Family versus Whitewater to Romong to Raven versus Blossom, Raven versus RR. We've seen a lot. We've seen our share over the years. And Feliz versus Ace, finally, not disappointing. But look at the experience difference. It's finally leveled out here for Feliz. After those first 3 kills, they didn't get picked anymore. They played safer. And, you know, after this early game where these picks are very strong for Ace, it gets a lot tougher for them to use this Valeera pick effectively. Here's the attempt onto Frankel. They're going to get him. See you later. Silence means no recall, no blink. And that's why Valeera is strong against Tracer. Not a counter, quote-unquote, with the air quotes, okay, but very powerful because of denying them ability.
It's a different game, Frankel. I think he has to focus. Was caught once now. Will be positioning himself differently, of course, but with Valeera existing now, even during the team fight, it's going to be a lot tougher. But with just that kill, they're getting the first Dragon Knight of the game.
It's exactly what I said just 1 minute before. The Tracer cannot be alone if they do not know where Valeera is. Clearly, they did not. Or if they did, they thought Tracer knew. Going to be a pick here onto Hero, maybe? Nope. Looks like the Pulse Bomb already went off. So that's even worse now. They have 2 members top. Can't defend the Dragon Knight. The only poke damage they have on their entire team is Hanzo. And he can't do it alone, so Valeera is able to just, with his Dragon Knight, crush through. And they're pushing multiple lanes. Blaze didn't miss any experience top. They're pushing their way to 10. They're snowballing this game the exact way they planned to.
So much further away because Blaze didn't even... I don't think he even hearts back home. And they got the fort in the middle. They're pushing in this one, and they're going to be hitting 10 very soon.
Yep.
I don't think yet from this Dragon Knight, but it will be very close as Blaze is already pushing that top lane, even stopping the Zeratul, forcing him to go around now.
Yeah. So obviously always a 1 match of Blaze versus Zeratul, and again, Zeratul will find himself in the same threat of Valeera if they don't know where she is. So he has to even be more careful.
See, now look at the rotation of Feliz. They're going around the map. They have not done that a single time in game 1 and 2 because they had Tracer going around the entire time. They're having their own globals now, but with just Valeera existing on this map, they have to make a safer approach here.
You're absolutely right about that. That's going to cost them neutral camp here, neutral knight camp. They take their own knight and they can just soak for 10. That's what they're trying to do. No Tracer's positioning right now because they don't know where Valeera is. She is playing so safe. Frankel is like, I am. She's like, make a bunker for me. I want to hide in it. Got Blaze on the other side. This camp is going to push down this fort. There's just nothing Feliz can do about it. They'll lose 2 forts. They lost both healing wells a long time ago. With the spell armor reduction, obviously Hanatan's going to be in a better position here against Hero, but still. What they do top to get 10 is less significant than what's going to happen to this keep wall right now. They can't even flank with Tracer to try to stop this push because she will die to Valeera. Now that they have 10 though, it's going to get a little bit easier. I think stage dive is definitely the way to go here because you can stop these heavy rotations where they have this defensive Valeera that can stop Tracer from flanking just by setting up the flank with the stage dive alone. Void can also remove the healing from the battle, can stop Stukov from actually winning these fights.
Ooh, let's see if they want to chain it with the Void Prison. I'm talking about Mosh Pit, of course.
Yeah. Oh god,
it is
that
possible,
was
but look at the silence. Zeratul cannot do a single thing. No blink.
Oh, this is actually horrible. They're going to get Hanzo as well. Let's watch Hanzo try to escape. Silence. Cleanse. Okay, I guess cleanse. I guess cleanse makes everything okay for a second, but he still dies. I'm like, oh my god, all the CC, he never gets away. And Rhaegar's like, whoa, my level 7 talent, have you seen it? Still dies, obviously, with all the damage that happens in that moment. But this is how you use Valeera. And they saw Rhaegar, or sorry, they saw Zeratul while he was cloaked, and even stunned him to set that up.
Ooh, chain CC and then silence continues on Rhaegar.
Body block as well. Ace is destroying with this Valeera pick. Oh my god. And this is looking terrifying. You know, when you have a comp that runs 2 heroes that are so dependent on their mobility abilities, when you have this many silences and CCs, and the only thing that Ace has that doesn't do a lot of CC is Greymane. He's doing the damage, okay? He's happy to hit a CC'd hero. Second Dragon Knight goes to Ace. There's 7 kills to 0. Could we have G-Clef a perfect game with Valeera in 2018? With the cloak rework?
Possibly, I think, because of the threat that Valeera has been getting with so much CC, ETC could not take the stage dive because he was going to be trapped and he was going to be silenced and die, even as the main tank of the team. I think he had to take the mosh pit because of Valeera onto the other side. This is actually a crazy game we're watching here.
So much CC to stop him from using his mosh though too with the Nubarok. It's rough, man. They're gonna lose a keep. Nothing that can be done about it. I cannot believe what we are witnessing, but I mean it's a, you know, the theory crafting I've seen on reddit.com/r/Heroes of the Storm, man, is coming true in this this game.
The best community.
The rework not required for Valeera to win games in the pro scene. Okay.
Well, still, we're only 9 minutes in. Let's see. Of course, a big level gap, 2.5 already.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say this game is over, but Ace has done more than they needed to do with this comp to have a chance of winning. They've gotten to keep pre-10 minutes.
Yeah. In Dragonshire, that's pretty big.
Like, getting 10 first is the first step, then trying to stay a talent to your head for as long as possible before Feliz starts to catch up. Those are the steps, but they're like, no, we're 3 levels up. We almost got 2 talent tiers up. We got a keep. What you want, Wolf, this comp is legit, is what Ace is telling me right now. And I can't speak ill of it until Feliz starts playing a little bit differently against it, but we haven't seen any Voids yet. It's so difficult to go in there and Void with the stealth rework because Zeratul, when he goes in, he's actually, to a pro gamer, he's as revealed as if he were just walking around uncloaked. And no one's going to get surprised by that at this level of play.
Only when Zeratul's in bush and staying still.
Okay, this is smart. This is going to try to just avoid conflict to try to at least gain a small advantage, maybe get a pick. Unfortunately, though, the trade-off is they lost both camp spot. There's catapult minions in here.
Ooh, are they going for the core? I think they're going to make an approach here, at least force them to hearth back home here.
Well, they definitely have to hearth home. Getting core with this many siege the catapults plus siege minions, the siege giants,
definitely possible.
And the armor reduction, like spell armor, this is absolutely a possibility. Frankel is pulse bombing catapult minions right now because that's the situation they're in.
Just
needs to stay away from Valeera.
Boys Prison is available.
Okay, just harassing right now with that Q build, trying to slow this down. Most of the minions have been killed. No stun here for Hero. Ooh, Rush does not get the stun there. And it looks like they will live to fight another day.
Man,
close call, though.
Frankel almost died right there, but Valeera just sniping in, stabbing onto that Tracer.
Well, I mean, it was almost, you know, it was almost a game over there, but they dealt with it very, very carefully. Good crisis management, and that camp that they stole with the double camp now, because they survived, is actually doing a ton for them here in the top lane, as you can see. 2 wizards. And, you know, I mean, when pulse bombs are hitting catapult minions, he doesn't know where he is. But because the rest of the team is here, he's going to be fine. But when catapult minions are getting killed by pulse bombs, you know a team is in a desperate situation.
Yes. Even, you can also go back and rebuild the pulse bomb pretty quickly. So Frankel made that decision on top. He was on top.
Pings on Hanaten. They know where he is.
Hanaten also smells that bug right there.
Stinky bug.
Very stinky. They're slow. OJ is not even committing because they don't see anyone else on the screen. They were hiding from the minimap.
Yeah,
Ace was.
I suppose Rush was not visible. You know, he obviously was cloaked, so not visible on the minimap. They just didn't know where he was, so took the safer approach. Oh god, Zeratil's dead. Frankel is taking a ton of damage from that. Go for the throw reset. This should be the core move that's more reasonable. But this time they have 2 catapults coming behind. I think they should wait for those. And then they have a Dragon Knight, so 12 minutes into the game, nearly 13.
This is Frankel's chance to actually get a snipe. They lack a bunker because Blaze is in that Dragon Knight now, but the core is going down. They need to make a move now.
They need to be decisive. Okay, Web Wrap going down here onto ETC. Liu is going to free him. 60% left on this core. KCB with the swipes here to keep everybody away. Have they done it? They have. They're going to win the game. Nearly a perfect game. 8-0. Valera versus the Tracer Zeratul. The surprise snipe pick is successful.
Only 1 fort down. No kills given to the other team. Impressive Valera play, controlling the map. Stealth against stealth. Wolf, it has worked. Valera does not need a rework here.
Well, Valera was able to shut down mostly Frankel's impact on the Tracer. Was able to kill him twice, kill Zeratul twice as well. Just kind of in solo situations, multiple more times than that. I think it was 7 kills to 0 there at the end of the game. But this snowballing the game using their CC, Valera's silence means no blink, means no, blink for both, I guess. I was like trying to think of the other ability. I'm like, no, they're both called blink. The Tracer's
the
blink and Zeratul's blink.
Q&E, yes. Both blinks, of course.
I was like, no, it's called, no, yeah, they're both blink. Yeah. Technically speaking, yeah, same ability name. The silence can come through from so if you go for the stun route, which is actually mostly what she was doing, you stun, which also, for a shorter period of time, prevents those mobility abilities from being used. Then Stukov drops his silence down on the hero that can't move
and
because
then
they're stunned.
comes in from the bottom.
Then Blaze comes in. It's a bad time. That was very well executed for me. So this series is a good series. You know, I'm not actually. I'm a little bit impressed again with the draft we saw in Game 1. I was like, okay, these teams have really prepared hard for this. Game 2, we had some adjustments. Game 3, I was shocked. I didn't have faith. I was wrong, okay?
Their draft was awesome. They picked Blaze for the first time as their first pick, and then they were hiding that Valera until the very end. I believe that will very likely to be banned in the next game if similar comps come out from both teams, of course. And without that, it may not be the same game, of course, without Valera. But Valera was providing that pressure from all lane. And even Zeratul was going around safe routes all the time. Tracer, who was roaming around the map entire time game number 1 and 2, could not do the same thing just because of Valera.
I think that the Valera pick was an adjustment made because Tracer was taken. I think they really wanted to run Tracer with the Tyrael there. And when Tracer was taken, they were like, oh, okay, well, they have 2 of these heroes that we have practiced Valera against on the same team. We could shut this down hard. They had a winning matchup, Blaze versus Zeratul. Zeratul was never able to threaten anybody. Tracer was like soaking mid a lot of the time and then dying because she was doing that when they didn't have vision of where Rush was. So I don't think we'll see Valera in the next game no matter what the map is. But if they run Tracer or Zeratul and leave Valera open, that would be the only time, right? And I don't think they're going to do that. Trying to think of what